In Lebanon, we're also due to get a deadline in 2.5 weeks where Israel will have to withdraw all of its forces from South Lebanon. And if they do not withdraw all of their forces from South Lebanon, that means we are officially in a state of war. We are officially back in square one. And that square one could be one day before the ceasefire began, which means 500 missiles on central Israel coming from Hezbollah. That's something very serious. Now, Amos Hochstein is in Lebanon. He is in Lebanon trying to come up with this new formula. Firstly, he's saying, no, Israel is going to be withdrawing. Israel is going to be withdrawing within the 60-day time frame, but let's see if we can stretch that. Then he said, well, maybe we can propose another 60 days or maybe 30 days. Maybe they can stay a little bit longer, Poor genocide soldiers, they want to stay a bit longer in Lebanon. They're having fun. But that's not working. That isn't working. Clearly, the mediators from Lebanon, they aren't accepting that. The Israeli presence and crimes in Lebanon, breaches of the ceasefire, are not only causing problems in general, but they're also causing problems with the Lebanese army. More Lebanese soldiers showing to be stepping on Israeli flags, more hostility towards Israel. And Hezbollah are saying as well, you want the Lebanese army. Also, the Lebanese army, go ahead, show us and defend Lebanon. Because it was Hezbollah and the Lebanese resistance who liberated the south at the end of the day. But you want responsibility, you want control. Here you have occupying forces. Look at what they're doing. And we need to have mutual responsibility if you want to bear that responsibility. Because many people underestimate the level of responsibility that these resistance movements have at the end of the day. Likewise in the West Bank now, with the Palestinian Authority targeting the Palestinian resistance instead of fighting the Israeli occupation. But now Israel is also warning. They're warning that if it goes through and Hezbollah start to attack us again, this time we will be bombing the Beirut airport. The Beirut airport was a red line. Why? Because Israel and Hezbollah knew the equation. The equation is destruction is met with destruction. Hezbollah does not underestimate Israel, and Israel does not underestimate Hezbollah. They both know that if certain civilian infrastructure starts to get targeted, the other side will target it as well. And the equation of the southern suburb of Beirut, if it's attacked, then Haifa will be attacked. That was implemented. And if Beirut is attacked, Tel Aviv is attacked. That was also implemented. These two equations and comparisons, where Hezbollah told them, if you target these locations, we target you. And they did. And Israel knows the situation. They know the score when it comes to Hezbollah. And although they would like to portray it as, Hezbollah is now choked and they're weaker and they don't have weapons and they don't have supply, and Hezbollah are still a very strong resistance movement who are able to withstand years of fighting against the Israeli genocide forces. If Hamas in Gaza were able to fight for 15 months and the Palestinian resistance, if they were able to stand up against a genocidal army backed by the world's biggest terrorist state, the United States administration, well, Hezbollah can also do the same, if not even more, because the record, the level of intensity, the level of attacks that they conducted against Israel have been very, very persistent and very systematic, very calculated, very strategic, and constant. They did not stop. And if Israel thinks that they would be able to apply pressure on Hezbollah by attacking, for example, the Beirut airport, well, tough luck. You're going to have Ben Gurion airport targeted, and not with any light missiles, by the way. Hezbollah are able to cause a lot of harm, especially with their drones too. They can target Ben Gurion airport. They can target other strategic facilities inside of Israel, energy sector, power plants as well. and hit Israel really, really badly when it comes to their infrastructure, their civilian infrastructure. And the final thing that I wanted to talk to you about is the genocide soldiers are being monitored. The people who are active for human rights, for the cause of the Palestinian people, the people who are active against the war criminal entity of Israel and its backers, they bring results. They bring results with their activism. They monitor the genocide soldiers, they monitor the crimes, and they take legal action, apart from the, of course, protesting and online activism, commenting, everything. All of these things are so important, the boycotts. But this legal action that's being taken is petrifying people inside of Israel, especially those who served in the last year in the Gaza genocide. So what is the IDF going to do about that exactly? Well, they're planning to conceal the identities of combat troops now. Israel usually conceals the identities of pilots and special forces. But now they're going to be concealing identities of combat troops as well. You can't use social media. If we bring you in photos, we're going to have to hide your face. You're going to have to take certain measures as well, not to reveal yourself, because there are many people active. And although Israel is now trying to limit the damage is already done, by the way. So many of these, like Genocide Tracker, for example, or the Hind Rajab Foundation, they carry out a lot of work, and they've already monitored many of these depraved TikTok genocide troops, genocide soldiers of Israel, who proudly, post their depravity online. They already know them. They know their names. They know what they do. They know where they live. Some of them have, social accounts. But now Israel's trying to take action, and they're doing that, by the way, past the 90th minute. The damage has already been done. The names are already known, to a level where in many countries now, legal action is being taken against people, to a level where in Brazil, they had to facilitate the escape of an Israeli soldier who was investigated. Again, Palestinian supporting federation, they had this claim against the soldier. And they said, well, how did he run away? In Israel, they said, well, he managed to get his way out. But the organization that brought the case against him, they said, no, it was the Israeli embassy now managing to coordinate and do things above the law, undermining the sovereignty of Brazil. And now they're calling on the Brazilian government to take action against Israel, to, question them. How did this man disappear? We were investigating him for crimes against humanity, and we are a law-abiding country at the end of the day. We need to respect international law. But clearly, the Israeli soldiers, they think that they're above the law also internationally. You see, in Israel, they give them that feeling that they are above the law. Some of them mentioned, a godlike feeling, even being in Gaza, killing whoever they want, whenever they want. But they think that they can do that also across the world, and that's no longer the case. These people are monitored, and these people are being brought to justice, or at least attempts are being made from the Palestine supporting organization, which are primarily human rights supporting organizations, to be fair, against this criminal entity. They're proving to be extremely effective. And this is another sign of how important the activism is, because many people will, in many cases, see all of the crimes ongoing. What are we doing to stop this? Not stopping any. But all of these small bits, they make an impact. They have a massive difference, whether when it comes to the protesting or the boycotting, from the economic perspective, from the legal perspective too, political, where possible as well. All of these things are very important, and they are bringing results to a level where Israel now has a special unit for Israelis abroad to try and help them when it comes to any potential organizations raising claims against them, trying to take them to courts in foreign countries internationally.